I'm in my late 20s right now, and I'm just not playing that many games anymore. I have a lot of games in my backlog that I still want to play, but at the moment I have little to no time for video games. However, if I have time, if I have a few minutes on my hand, I rather watch YouTube or take a scroll on Instagram. I'm not that much into TikTok, but it's just too much friction for me to start up my PC, boot up Steam, boot up a game, and play it for, 10 minutes. But I never really thought about buying a Steam Deck or a handheld device. It just never really came to me, But at some random evening, YouTube decided to put me into a rabbit hole about the Steam Deck. I watched a lot of videos on the Steam Deck, and lots of people said that the Steam Deck revived gaming for them. How it's fun to use, you have lots of options to customize the Steam Deck. It's easy to set up. You already have your whole Steam library that you can basically instantly play on that thing. You just have to download the game. And what I think is also cool about the Steam Deck is that you can emulate lots of old retro games. You can even play Minecraft on that thing. You're basically not locked into one system. You can play lots of games from an old emulated game to a AAA title if it's optimized for the Steam Deck. It's not the most powerful thing, but it doesn't need to be. All that sounded so intriguing to me and so good that I wanted to try it out. And finally, after many videos watched, I finally decided to sell off some CS skins from the golden days and buy myself the Steam Deck. And let me tell you, buying hardware from Steam feels weird in a good way. So the Steam Deck arrived. It is very well packaged. There are some Easter eggs on the packaging, which I really enjoy. That's a nice touch by Valve. And after all, very well packaged, the device. It's pretty comfortable to hold in your hands. It has a great size, I think. It's a little bit bigger than I thought, but I don't know if this helps to you, but the Steam Deck is roughly the same size of a 60% keyboard. So if you have a 60% keyboard lying around, that's basically the size of the Steam Deck if you want to try it out in your own hands, but you don't have a Steam Deck yet. Hope that helps. The Steam Deck has a great screen. It's plenty bright, it's sharp, it's enough for the Steam Deck, It's good. And just for the first impression, it already feels like a great purchase. So, of course, started the Steam Deck, logged into my account and started to download some games that I wanted to play on the Steam Deck. So what is my take on the Steam Deck after a month of using it? I really enjoy the Steam Deck. I like the layout of the buttons and that there are so many of them. You have 4 buttons on the back side, you have the trigger buttons, you have the joysticks, the trackpad, you even have gyro control and touch. You can pair a Bluetooth mouse and a Bluetooth keyboard with the Steam Deck. So the possibilities of controls with the Steam Deck are basically endless. Also, I find the trackpads, they feel very nice. I really enjoy the haptic feedback you get from using the trackpad. And also, a lot of the controls are pretty intuitive. So if you pick up the device and you have had a controller in your hand before, you kind of know how everything works. You just click something and it does what you think it will do. It's great. It's a great designed console. The performance of the Steam Deck is alright, it's enough for what it is. You don't get the best FPS and you will not have the best graphics with the Steam Deck, but those times for me at least are over anyway, and it's a handheld in the end, and I don't need the best graphics with a handheld device, in my opinion. The Steam Deck, it can get hot sometimes. It depends on the game you play and how bright you set up your screen, and depending on the game and the screen also is the battery life. In my opinion, the battery life is alright. I am never that far away from a charger, and you can easily play with the Steam Deck even though it's plugged in and charging. So yeah, that's not a problem, at least for me at all. I said in the beginning that I'm not that big of a console player anymore. I was back in the day, then I became a full-on PC player. I went into Counter-Strike hard, very hard. But I have to say that I really enjoy playing some games with a controller. I think it feels not that competitive, It gives me a sense of casual gaming. I'm just there to enjoy the game and enjoy the moment. And I'm not there to compete with anyone or anybody or anything, you know? It's just me playing the game just for fun. With Counter-Strike, everything was so focused on winning and being the best, and the Steam Deck just makes gaming fun again, you know? Especially because you cannot play any competitive shooters on the Steam Deck, so I guess that is also a part of it. I have to say that I used the Steam Deck a little bit less than I wanted it to use in the last month. Just because I have so much stuff to do. But in the moments I had 10 to 20 minutes, I was very happy to have the Steam Deck. It was either to go on Instagram for 10 minutes or to play Black Mesa for 10 minutes. And 9 out of 10 times Black Mesa won. And that is something that is so great about the Steam Deck, because I would never, ever have booted up my PC, start Steam, start Black Mesa and play it for 10 minutes. It just would not have happened. And with the Steam Deck, you just press a button, you're right into the action, you play for 10 minutes, you press a button again, and you're out of the action and you can go on with your daily business. The Steam Deck fixes the problem of struggling to start. You know, it deletes the friction. You just have to press one button and you're right back where you left the game the last time you played, and it just takes 2 or 3 seconds. And also, you know, gaming somehow feels healthier than being on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok for that matter. I don't know why, but it just feels healthier. Probably because you just focus on one thing and not multiple things all at once. Of course, I have to ask myself, was the Steam Deck worth it? I feel like I've not yet unleashed its full potential. Also, I paid with Counter-Strike skins, and that somehow feels like I paid nothing for it because I already spent the money way back in the past. And considering that, I would 100% say that the Steam Deck was worth the money. I told you that a lot of YouTubers said that the Steam Deck saved gaming for them. And now, having it tried myself, I 100% believe what they said. It's basically the same for me. I would not say that it revived gaming for me, but gaming is now certainly a bigger part of my life again. Especially if you don't want to sit on your PC anymore, if you don't have the time to play on your PC anymore. This little device, actually quite big, this one, this device can definitely save gaming for you. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate a like. And if you have any questions about the Steam Deck or about me or anything else, just let me know in the comments and I will try to answer them as fast as possible. And with that, there's nothing more to say than stay safe. I will go and play a little bit with my Steam Deck right now.